She's not here to lip sync for her life. This doll is serving Visage realness. Inspired by Michelle's iconic two-tone glam and bold allyship, we're going full transformation mode. It's Pride Month, darling, and this glow-up is just getting started. She popped her head off, didn't even dread it. These dolls were made to make that edit. Barbie Basics, keep it cute and smart. Now let's clean up the fuzzy part. Don't be too impressed. These Barbie Basics dolls were actually made with easy-to-remove heads, so she's just doing what she was born to do. Now, most of them aren't able to remove their own heads, but she did make it look pretty fabulous. Now, let's get inside that head and scrape out the hair plugs, that stubble that's left. If I just use my favorite flathead screwdriver to scrape carefully inside the head, the stubble will all get pulled to inside the scalp. And then I'll use my needle nose pliers to get those out. You can use tweezers, but sometimes it can be a challenge to get some of the larger dried glued hair pieces out that can be bigger than the hole that you're trying to pull them out of, and flimsy little tweezers just might not be up for the task. Those hemostat pliers, I think I've also heard them called, are really nice for getting the hair out. Now you may be wondering, who is Michelle Visage? Maybe you're not familiar with the different shows that she's been on. This happens to me all the time. Famous celebrities who the rest of the world knows who they are, and I feel like I'm the only one who doesn't. If that's you today, don't feel bad at all, because like I said already, it happens to me all the time. So while I'm working on getting the doll prepped and ready, I thought we could have some fun, usually dolly chat. There may be dolly chat today, but I thought at least initially we'll talk a little bit about Michelle Visage. I'll pull her up on screen. I'll just have some Wikipedia information about her career and things like that. I'm not so much a super fan, so much that every time I see her when I watched RuPaul's Drag Race, which is where I first became familiar with her, she's so beautiful. She's so gorgeous. I love that silver chunk in the front of her hair. Every time we watch Drag Race, I see her, I think I want to make her into a doll. And so I have these Barbie Basics dolls that I'm having so much fun making over. They're made with easy to remove heads. I actually am using an extra head that I had left over from my Scientist Barbie project, but I do end up bringing in the Barbie Basics doll with a different neck peg. You can see this has a green neck peg instead of the Basics one, and at some point it will convert over. This doll had really loose hips and legs, and she was really difficult to pose. And I don't want to put all this time and energy into my doll just to have her not be able to do fun stop motion animations and things like that. I want her to still be nice and posable when we're all done. So Michelle Visage, she has black hair. She styles it in a variety of different ways, but she has this big chunk in the front. Let me bring a picture up on screen just in case you're not familiar. Okay, so while I'm working to finish first scraping the stubble into the head and then later getting it out with the pliers, we will start in with our Michelle Visage chat. So here's a picture of what she looks like, and I think you can see by looking at her, hopefully, why I was dying to make a doll inspired by her. I didn't want to try to imitate her makeup look or things like that. I wanted this to be that's kind of stressful, to be honest. That's kind of stressful. And I wanted this to be a little bit more fun. I got this gorgeous outfit that was pretty enough for this project. I went through things I already had. I didn't buy anything special. And look at me. This time I even remembered to paint the head before I start adding the hair. About a third of the time I don't, and if you watch all of my videos, you'll see that. I know I just was filming one the other day that I know I forgot. My first Bratz doll makeover, as it turns out. So if you only knew Michelle Visage from RuPaul's Drag Race, let me spill a little tea. This diva's been making waves for decades. She started out in the late 80s as a member of the girl group Seduction, serving vocals and dance moves on Billboard charting hits like To Make It Right. She was also part of the Soul System, which landed a song on the Bodyguard soundtrack. Yeah, that Bodyguard. After her music career, she moved into radio and became a fierce, funny voice on morning shows in New York and beyond. She's been besties with RuPaul since the 90s and joined Drag Race as a permanent judge in season 3, bringing glam, sass, and sharp critiques every season since. Outside the workroom, she's also competed on Celebrity Big Brother UK, judged Ireland's Got Talent, and appeared in West End's musical Everybody's Talking About Jamie. She's outspoken about LGBTQ plus rights, body positivity, and embracing your power at any age. Basically, she's a full-on icon. Did you know? I'm just about done painting the head, and then we'll be ready to get started with the reroot process. I just need to let the paint dry, and we'll get on with it. You may have noticed I left a big chunk in the front white, and that's where I'll be planting the silver. I have some silver hair from Shimmer Locks and black from Doll Planet. I'll be using my rooting tool and needles that I also got from both places to plug the hair in, and then separating it into locks. I like to use clear tape on my finger. It helps it to make it easier to get the needle to pick up the hair, and then also protects my finger from the hours of scraping with the needle. One of the fun things about this project was it went by crazy fast. I wasn't using curly or textured hair or anything like that. Every once in a while this happens. I hit what I like to call a time warp, where I set the timer for 45 minutes a couple times while I was working on this doll. We did a few 5-minute sessions, and that was it. It was like within 2 hours, she was all done. And I don't know how that happened. That doesn't normally happen unless I'm using textured hair like braids or curly hair, something like that, where I don't have to fill every hole. But I filled every hole and I used plenty of hair. She has way more, probably about twice as much hair as this doll had to start. I love rerooting dolls. In case you haven't watched my videos and you're new here, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for watching, and you're still here at the 7-minute mark. Aren't you a champ and trooper? And thank you to my returning subscribers. I am sure grateful for each and every one of you. It's the fact that people return to my channel to watch more videos that actually got my channel to take off and do better. It's the returning viewers that tell the algorithm that my channel is good and that it doesn't suck. So on screen, in that 45 minutes that I spent away, you can see I finished all of the hairline that I'm doing in black and did several rows up the back of the head. I like to work up to the part line, then fill in one side of the part line, so on and so forth. Although this time, since I won't be getting out the silver until the end, I'm only going to be working in the black painted sections. So yeah. Interesting. I think this is a lot of fun. And as I was saying, and I know I've said in my other videos, that for me, this is fun. That if I don't paint the face, I'm not going to try to outline the lips or add eyeliner or things like that. That just using my rooting tool to me feels really accessible and so much less stressful than painting on the face. Definitely. I have a lot more confidence with it. And to me, it made it feel like I didn't need any skills. I don't need to be able to draw or paint or any of that. I just need some hair, some rudimentary tools and skills. It's not even that expensive to get started on it. And then, you can give your doll a total new look. I can take the same doll and redo her 3-4 times, especially if I do add some painting on the face, and give it a completely different look. I've been speeding up the footage of me rooting in the hair to 5 times faster than normal speed, and because of that, we've already moved on to the silver section. I'm going to finish the hairline first, and then work my way up to the part line, and then I'll finish the silver part of the part line, and we'll be done and ready to style her. Michelle wears her hair in a variety of styles. I'll pop that up on screen while I was rambling on. And what I wanted to do was my favorite hairstyle that she wears, which is where she just wears it in curls with that dramatic swoop in the front. I'm going to add some Fabri-Tac glue to her hair, just a small amount, to help make sure that those hours did not go wasted. The hair won't just pull out when I'm styling it later. I didn't have a Q-tip, so I just grabbed that fake plant off my desk and used that. On screen, we've already cut ahead to me rooting in the eyelashes. Instead of painting on makeup, I feel like rooting in eyelashes is much easier. I use a little bit less hair in each plug, and for Barbie dolls, I like to use 5 plugs for the eyelashes. I start from the outer edge of the eye and work to the middle of the eye. And then I just start where the eyeliner is at the outer edge of the eye. You don't want to start past where the eyeliner extends past the edge of the eye, and then as close to the white part of the eyeball as I can get. And then, of course, just punch them in a straight line. After I get the eyelashes in, I like to trim it to eyebrow height, which is really tall. And then that gets it shorter, so I have something I can then trim in just a little to make it better looking. I don't know what to say there. But the eyelashes are done and we're ready to style the hair with some straws. One of the important things when we're curling the hair with straws is we don't want pinched ends of the hair to look all, what did somebody call it the other day? I think they called it a hook end on the curl that you can see it and it looks terrible. We do not want that hook on the end of our hair. So I'm trying to twist the end underneath some of the wrapped hair without reversing my curl too much. If you actually have the curl going from bottom to top, you'll have an upside down curl when you take it out of the curler. Now, once I get her whole head wrapped with the little curlers that I've used from straws, we'll get out a bowl with some water from the electric kettle. That'll happen just here in a second. And then we dip the hair into the electric kettle. And then while it's wet, if hair's come unwrapped or uncoiled, I'll go back and rewrap them, add the clip back on again. I'll continue to fuss with this hair until it's completely dry. And then after we've let it sit overnight and the hair is completely dry, we're going to pull out the curlers, fingers crossed, hoping for the best. A little bit of me is wishing that I had used a little bit less hair in the curls in the front or started a little lower. I wasn't originally planning for her more voluminous curl look, but this is what we got and it is quite beautiful. And I do love this little underwear and panty outfit. I'm going to have to try to do a doll planned for this outfit because it's just so cute. I had a different, more glamorous outfit picked for her. And what I'm doing is if there's just a little bit, say a half an inch at the end that didn't get curled, then I'm just cutting that off. And I think that only happened on maybe 3 curls. Some of the end just wasn't curled at all. And then I also want to separate some of the curls. Let me give you a little look here while I separate a couple of them with you. And then this view's really hard. I don't know why I did it this way. I'm right next to the phone mount, and if I'm not careful, I bang it and wobble the camera. So apologies if that happens in advance. Well, let's go ahead and cut to her done. We'll take a picture of her on the desk. I put up a little background behind all the dolls on my desk to keep them from being distracting. I don't know if that's better or worse, so let me know. It's something that I use on my other channel for my journal making channel to hide the dolls so that they can just see the journals. Yeah. Here she is with her curled hair and her eyelashes and her new outfit. I think this gives her a really glamorous look. And of course, let's have a little stop motion animation for the outro. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this interesting, entertaining, maybe inspiring. Maybe you have this gorgeous doll, you bought her in multiples, and you want some ideas on how to change her up. I'll take the background out and we can see her without the background, and then we'll cut over to the stop motion. Let me know which way you prefer, with the other dolls kind of hidden, or if you like that kind of, here's what my desk actually looks like shot of the doll. Like, oh, she's done, and here's like, you're just at my house with me. She's on my desk with whoever happens to be hanging out that day, or maybe with the background and, you know, special angle to hide the things. Category is Transformation Realness. She came, she served, and now she's twirling her way into the Hall of Dolls. Inspired by Michelle, made with love, and proud from head to toe. Until next time, stay fabulous. Thanks for watching, and as always, please have a wonderful day.